NPs stand for nuclear power. Now look, I don't know who, what, where, or when Americans were convinced that nuclear power was too dangerous to use. My gosh, this is America. We're not afraid of anything. What the heck is the matter with you people? Well, let's take some examples. We have had nuclear power plants and nuclear powered ships for 50 years. And in 50 years, not one American has ever died from radioactive exposure from any of this involving a power plant. Ever. The other thing is, in the last 30 years, this silly thing, technology has come so far that it's much, much safer than it used to be. And every day we learn things from it. Not using this is insane. This power can be generated for 1,000 years. 1,000 years. However, there is a problem. We need to build about 100 plants, 100 new plants across this nation in the next 5 years. They need to be simplified, and they need to be not prefab necessarily, but a simple, workable platform to be built on so that we can stay consistent with it. To do that, I need another 1.8 million jobs. 1.8 million jobs, so I get the nuclear power going. There's nothing wrong with this. However, this creates and brings us to the oil problem. If you thought we had an oil problem before, wait until you see it now. You see, here's the problem. If we use this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, we have just taken 60 to 65% of all of our diesel and gasoline consumption, and we have thrown it out the window. It's gone. It's vanished. It doesn't exist anymore. We don't need it anymore. Think of it. We don't need it anymore. But what are we going to do? We have thousands of people that work in this industry. We can't throw them out in the street. We have millions of people that are probably invested in this. We can't take away their investment. So we have to come up with a solution to make the oil problem still work. Well, I have a radical idea. It's outside of the box, and you're probably going to think I'm crazy. That's perfectly okay. But I want to create the NPOC. Stands for the North Pacific Oil Cartel. I want to create a new oil cartel to run in direct conflict with the Middle East cartel. Here's what I want to do. We have a pipeline that runs from Alaska all the way down to Texas. I want to turn things around a little bit. I want to run the oil out of the United States instead of into the United States. What I want to do is I want to run it up the pipeline. I want to create a new pipeline across the strait into Russia. And I want to run the oil down the Siberian pipeline right into China and India. Here's what we do. We take Mexico, the United States, Canada, and the Soviet Union, well, not Soviet Union anymore, but Russia. We create this cartel. Many, many wonderful things will happen. First of all, the relationship with the United States and Russia will get a whole lot better. The true wall will finally come down because Russia will start making a lot of money, and that'll help them a bunch. At the same time, so will we. You see, in 2008, the United States sent $758 billion to the Middle East to buy Middle East oil. Now we don't need it anymore. So instead of spending the $758 billion, we take another $758 billion, run it up the pipeline, down and into China and India. That is a $1.5 trillion difference. 1.5 trillion. Where have I heard? Oh yes, our spending deficit has just disappeared. It's gone. This is not so crazy. Next thing is, China now is buying something from us that we control, along with Mexico, Canada, and Russia. Our balance of trade just started to be equalized. Same thing with India. Those two countries are going to need oil for the next 50 years. We probably start running out of oil in the next 50 years, and then they can buy our technology and make the change just like we did. This is a lot bigger project than it looks, but at least it's a plan, and it could work. So that's how I'm going to solve the oil problem. The next problem we have is coal. Coal is exactly the same problem as oil, but with a couple of different things. Coal, first of all, we're going to have, at least for a while. You see, 50 to 51% of all the electricity that's generated in this country comes from coal. So we can't just turn off coal. Besides, there are lots and lots of people, like miners, that work in this industry. They need a job. There are millions of people, just like in the oil, that are invested in this product. We can't just turn it off. But here's what will happen. As this system develops, we will need less and less of this. And we do the same thing with this. We put this on ships and we ship it out to the rest of the world, which saves our balance of trade. Furthermore, sending a ship full of coal out in the world and it gets damaged or destroyed doesn't create an environmental impact like oil would. That's why we need to pipe oil and not ship it. As you can see, as we've gone over this, these are solutions that will help this country. I have presented before you 14.9 million new jobs. I have shown you ways to change the structure of our economy and new innovations towards technology and saving the large amounts of energy for the future of America. And this, my friends, is how we save the United States of America. I would like to thank you for your time. I would like to thank you for watching. This is John Q. Public. God bless America.